For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world.
This is the main event.
Dildo corn is alive
and kicking. Come on over here, I'll headbutt your ass a couple times, if you know what I'm saying.
This brother breaking off a 40-yard run. This brother, come on, zip it.
I hope I didn't piss off Jesus.
You call that a penalty?
Who's number one, though? Who's number one?
It's the LA Clippers.
No, shut up! You're saying it wrong, people. I would get her pregnant.
Fuck you, Tripoli.
That just called in and hangs up, you motherfucker. That pisses me off.
Ari, are you in the shower now?
Totally in the shower.
Yeah, dude. He's not a cokehead.
You mean James? Stupid idiot.
You're a stupid idiot for getting so uptight over nothing.
You're clearly lying. You're clearly just...
Why would I lie?
For attention.
Why would I lie?
Well,
I don't need attention.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. You're a comic.
Guys, welcome to Punch Drunk Sports, where winners win.
Yeah.
We're going to get into this. We're going to be letting you guys know where the GoFundMe for Johnny's hairline will be. You guys will be in link in the description. Joining us, very excited to have him back, a returning champion, going to talk about his new album coming out. Nick Youssef. Nick, how are you?
Good. I got long hair now, so I'm feeling great.
It's been that long since we saw it. I think last time
10 years.
you had blue hair.
I might have, yeah. I had a mohawk for like a year and a half. That was fun.
So did Sam.
I did too, but yeah,
Sam's
mine did not look good though.
No.
That's why I wore
They
it.
didn't look good.
What do you have now?
Just this and a hat with an upside down.
It's got a little softening at the crown too, if we're being honest.
Let's see the back, Sam. Let's see the back. Give us.
I don't even know what that means, bro. I don't even know what that means.
Let's see. You got that skin yarmulke going.
Are you trying to
let's see the
say I
back.
got soft head, bro?
He does.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's got a skin yarmulke. That's exactly right.
I got skinny what?
Skin yarmulke?
He's pretending
Skin
not to
yarmulke.
understand what you're saying. That's what's
That's what he
happening
does.
right now.
You guys are acting like you haven't podcasted for 10 years, okay? And you're talking over each other, which is rude to our guest.
That's
Nick, tell
true.
us where you are, by the way. You were following Tool around for a while.
Yeah, that was like
pretty cool.
moments before. It was one of the coolest things I've ever done. It was awesome.
Now, to get the interview with Maynard, did you have to tap him?
Good question.
Yeah. I had to put him in a submission hold. And
Perfect.
then
Dude. Triangle.
he was like, "All right,
triangle.
you can do the interview now."
Okay, you've proven your worth.
Yeah, that thing was like that tour. It was me and Rory Scovel. It was like it literally was like right up until the whole world shut down. It was like going, and then we were all sitting in Boise, Idaho, and everybody was like, "Hey, everything's over," and we're like, "Oh," and then we all went home.
That's rare. It's like the coolest thing you've ever wanted to do, and then they go, "By the way, you're a fucking. You don't get to fuck."
Well, that's why. That's where we're making the joke. We're like, man, we asked for too much and we got too much, and this is the payback. It's like the world has to end now.
Oh, are you saying it's your fault because the whole pandemic?
Yeah.
That's what I got. It's like
Breaking news.
People are just like they're having these two guys who just have
Breaking news on Punch Drunk again. Once again.
Yeah.
Calling my favorite band. Tool has a lot of occult symbolism in their act. But anyways, tell us a little bit about your album. What's it called? Where can we find it?
Well, it's not called anything, and you can't find it anywhere yet because what I'm doing is, well, I've already released like a few audio albums over the years, but I wanted to do a special, like a video, well-produced, one that could not be accepted by Netflix or anywhere else. So I was planning on doing it after that tour in 2020, and then the world ended, blah, blah, blah. And now I've been on the road for year and a half, just trying to kind of crawl my way back up to a solid hour of material, and but getting the money together has been hard. It's just been it's hard out there. So I started a GoFundMe because I literally had no other options, and I was like, well, I could keep chipping away and working the road and barely bringing enough home to kind of just to get by, and I can't sell a special to anybody, and no production companies are interested. It was just like dead end after dead end. So I started a GoFundMe and I sat on it for like 4 days and I was like, this is pathetic. This is stupid. What am I doing? And I'm like, it's going to look even worse if I don't raise any money. And then I was just staring at that screen and I was just like, I don't know what else to do. And then I'm like, fuck it, man. And I just started posting about it and texting people and messaging everybody. And then just donations started coming in, man. And because I just laid it out there. I was like, I have no other options. I would love to do a special. I have not done one. And I'm at the point where I'm just asking for help. If anyone wants to see me make a special, if anyone wants to help, and and I did like a list of perks that you could get if you donate.
What are some of the perks?
This is what I like.
Free admission to your OnlyFans as you transition or something like that.
Yeah.
I was reading this, and you've already raised like a lot. Like you're like a quarter of the way there, maybe almost halfway there.
Halfway
in like just a few weeks. So
not even a week.
I saw you did this thing where you go, hey, here's what you get if you donate this much. Here's what you get if you do. So go through what it does do, and I think Sam and I are going to have some good ideas of how you could get this thing super paid for.
Okay, yeah. So anywhere from 1 to 100, you're going to get like a copy of the special, like a downloadable with like extra footage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 100 to 200, you'll get like a thank you in the credits, and then 200 to 300, you'll get a producer title, like something fun like that. And then 400 to 500, I honestly don't remember. 4 free tickets to a show when I go on the road after that and come to your town. You get 4 tickets and 1 piece of merch at the merch table that you get to take it home. That's it. And then if you donate $1,000 or more, you get everything I just listed, the copy of the special, you get 4 tickets to a show, you get free merch. And then when I come to your town, I will wash your car and mow your lawn, and we can videotape it and, do whatever.
I like that. No butt stuff for $1,000. There's no butt stuff.
No butt stuff. No.
Now that's where,
all right. Just trying to help you reach your goals, bro. That's all.
How much more do you need to achieve the goal?
Right. So I'm trying to raise 12,000, and I just hit 6,000 today.
So you need $6,000. If anybody comes in clean right now, it's $6,000. We'll start there and we'll work down because we're halfway there. $6,000 donation.
Okay.
Nick, what will you do? And it's got to be, I'm thinking, filthy.
I mean, I don't know.
How about I get to do a guest spot? 5 minutes right in the middle of your show.
Ooh.
A guest spot
right in the middle of your special. And here is our financier. I really hope he wasn't going to do this, but hey,
producer, like a commercial. And now we go to this quick commercial
comes
break.
up and then you got to dig a hole after. He just digs you a grave. You got to get out after for the last 20 minutes of your special. You're just so completely fucked.
All right,
$6,000.
$6,000, dude. 5 minutes in the middle of the show, right in the middle. And here's the whole thing.
What about
This really going to make it spicy, dude. And really get one of these super rich guys to jump in.
Yeah.
We get to tell you when we're jumping up. You could just be going and it's just this weird, hey, I'd like to go up. You're like, but I'm doing my bit about abortion in and out. No, dude, I want to go up.
What about this?
Okay.
Anybody donates $2,000 or more. No, $6,000. $2,000 or more. $2,000. If somebody donates $2,000 at the very end of your special, you shave your head live on stage at the very end of your special, completely bald, just shaved, just like fucking Elvis in the military.
And then what that would have to be in the special, like at the end of it, is so the closer is I shave my head.
We'll work the details out later. Okay, just spitballing right now.
But credits are rolling, and you're shaving your fucking head like a fucking idiot.
And
I don't know why you got to be an idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot as I'm doing.
What a dumb fuck. Thanks to Rick Martin in Boise, Idaho.
$6,000. Okay. We get to pick where you do the show, and you do the special.
You record it at their house. That would be great.
I could be like, I want you to do my living room, or somehow I have access to this giant theater, and you just have to do it to nobody in the crowd.
110
somehow
people.
you have access. See, I like where your heads are at with this. Like, let's come up with crazy ideas, but I want to make a special so it can just kind of be a document of my material going forward. Having something in the middle or
we're just trying to make dreams come true here.
You have this chance to make a statement on capitalism.
What about this?
I think you're
$6,000
ignoring.
$6,000, you will go live with someone for a month.
Yes, dude.
Just and whoever donates the money, I gotta live.
You are
with
their
them
roommate for a month. You got to do their dishes. You got to be like Alice the maid for 1 month. But you might have some good friendship. Might make a new friend. Might be a serial killer.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could be brutally murdered. Yeah, I don't know.
You never know, bro. You never know.
So
Or
where can people
for $6,000 they get to live with you for a month, wherever you live.
How'd you like to live in Brooklyn or wherever you live? New York City.
Just go stay there on the bed, bam, hang out.
Go to New York City, and they get the bed.
And
They get your bed.
Off anytime I want. There's
They get your bed. They get your bed, and you're the guy on the couch. You're on the couch in your own apartment.
For $6,000, you get to
For
live
1
with
month.
Nick Youssef
For
in
1
his
month.
house. You sleep in his bed while he sleeps on his couch.
He gets your keys. You got to ask for. You are couch surfing on your own couch. He gets your keys, and you got to be like, "Hey, man!" Every day you got to ask him, "Can I crash on your couch tonight? Can I crash on a couch tonight?" You got to ask permission every night, and he could say no. I got some.
And then I gotta
over,
sleep
man.
on the street.
You got to fucking find a fucking deal, bro.
You got to find a hostel, man. I'm sorry. It's like I'm having friends over. You can't be here.
You're not even one of his friends.
Yeah.
You're the only person he knows in New York, and you're not even one of his friends.
He calls.
That's a good one. $6,000.
I think it'd be great. $6,000. They get to come live with you.
Yep.
You sleep in your bed.
That's right.
Sleeping on the couch, and you have to just call telling them you're coming home.
Yes.
As much as
hey, man, I'm coming by in case you're like in the middle of something.
As much as I want the $6,000, I don't know that would be worth it. I'm going to be honest with you.
Dude, we could make this happen.
If you take a very, very extremely post-dated check, I'll write you a $6,000 check right now.
Don't cash until the year 3000.
If you're cool with that, I'm fucking really cool with that.
So, maybe.
So how can people donate? How can people donate
will
$6,000?
you look up the link for us? Jesus, you're the worst.
Yeah.
I don't have the link.
Johnny's in outer space.
What is it?
It's on my website, nickyoussef.com.
Johnny, are you wearing lipstick?
I'm not. I don't know why. I'm trying to. It's something with the camera and the way it's processing the color that's making my lips look really red. Yeah, I don't know.
I know.
I'm trying to kill that.
Send messages on this. Oh yeah, chat.
I'm starting to get hard, bro.
Oh, I got it right here.
Red lip.
Well, this is a.
By the way, that shirt says you get hard by seeing your friends with red lips for sure.
Got the no, that's a Patreon link.
Oh. Wait, hold on. I got you. I'm gonna send it in the chat.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Thanks.
How do you chat?
It's at the bottom there. It says chat.
I know, but I'm. Oh, I see. I see.
Put your PIN number in there. Just fucking throw it up there, bro.
Okay,
I just sent you the link.
38547. That's his PIN number.
Look at this. Let's see what we got happening.
Yes, it's just a direct deposit.
Look at that. Oh yeah, dude. Look at that.
Hey, Ashley Salon, thank you so much.
That's awesome.
Kristen Dexter, get at me.
So Whitney donated. I mean, she was very generous. She donated.
Oh, she was. Holy shit.
$1,500, which is unbelievable. Yeah.
You got to message her when she's on her pills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen, you got to pick the correct hair color to approach her because each hair color represents a different mood she's in.
So whatever hair color
blue.
she had 2 days ago, I'm all for that. I don't know if she saw the perks, but I have to remind her. I go, look, I literally am obligated to wash your car.
I owe you anal.
I think that's just what she pays for car washes. She saw a good deal here. $1,000 car wash. Yeah, I'm gonna pencil me in for one.
So yeah, that's what's happening with the money. All that right there. And that's what you get if you donate. What was the 5? Oh yeah. So okay. And honestly, I was like, this is just going to be a funny thing to say, and maybe like, I mean, I will do it if someone actually does it. But I was like, I don't know that anyone's going to donate $1,000, but Already one person, 1,500. The next closest was $888 was the next highest one.
Nick Youssef,
why wouldn't you just go for 1,000? You're gonna do 888. Just go for 1,000, dude.
I'm telling you, I don't know that people are reading the perks. I don't. Oh. I think they're just like, oh yeah, that's cool.
You're not sure if people read. Is that what you're telling me right now?
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people.
What are you thinking for bonus material, Nick?
Honestly, I was thinking if someone does donate the 1,000, we could film the car wash lawn mowing thing with whoever the person is, and we go get lunch. Or I don't know, like that could be like a fun interaction with a fan type.
Pull a switcheroo with fucking Cummings. I imagine she's got a fucking lawn you don't even want to get your hands on. She's like got Mexicans up and down. Yeah. Go with her. Go pool cleaning.
Full golf course. I
know. You got to go with her. Go pool cleaning. Fun, I'll clean your pool. I'll wash your car. If you want to tie up loose ends, I'll eat your butthole. But that's it.
Butthole.
Hey everybody, we're here to tell you about our new friends at Freedom Grooming. With Freedom, you can get the smoothest shave of your life. Their flexible blades contour to the shape of your head for a baby smooth shave every time. Shave 50% more hair in a single stroke compared to traditional razors. Expect shave times of 2 to 3 minutes, not 10 to 15 minutes, and never cut yourself shaving again. The Flex Series Safeguard technology means no nicks, no ingrown hairs, and no problems. And the Flex Series waterproof design means that you can shave in the shower with or without shaving cream, wet or dry. Since even the sharpest blades dull with use, Freedom created the Close Shave Plan. With the Close Shave Plan, you'll never run out of fresh, sharp blades delivered to your door every 6 weeks with free shipping. All active Close Shave Plan members are upgraded to a lifetime warranty, and it's completely customizable. You just adjust, skip, or cancel your plan at any time. Now I want to read you a few of Freedom Grooming's 10,000 5-star reviews. This is from someone called Mariah. I give Freedom Grooming a 5-star rating. If I could give more stars, then I would. I bought this as a Christmas gift for my husband last year, and he refuses to use anything else. He said this is the best present and grooming kit he's ever seen and used. This is going to be our go-to place for all his grooming needs. I love how the blades automatically ship and come as a surprise just when he needs them. No hassle products and services. Thank you, Freedom Grooming. And this is from James R. This has become my favorite razor. Gone are the days of nicks and cuts, and as a black man, razor bumps as well as ingrown hairs. Love it. Hope restored. To thank you for being such a loyal listener, we are partnering with Freedom to give you an extra 20% off when you go to freedomgrooming.com/PDS. That's freedomgrooming.com/PDS. That's as in Punch Drunk Sports, PDS.
What was I going to say?
You were saying go to your website. The bonus features. Bonus features.
The bonus stuff. So outside of that, probably material that won't make it into it. I'm going to do over an hour.
Shit, you'll cut out.
Yeah, just maybe a couple of bits that I don't do anymore that have never been on video or whatever. So I can do those, and those will be just bonus.
How long ago was this that you started it? You're doing really well.
How much you have now?
Almost 6,000. What it says how long it's been up, but minus 4 days from that, because the first 4 days I was too scared to do it.
That's
the thing. It's like people forget. Awesome. I was texting with you about it, and we were talking about it. And you're like, man, I felt so bad, because you feel like you're panhandling. But so many people donated to you, and they're like, dude, for a decade you've been giving me free fucking art once a week, or all your other specials I got for free. Here's fucking $30. I've never seen you live before. Here's $40.
Jason, you should hey, I just donated $200 and I got anonymous. I put my name on it and now it says anonymous.
So did I. You got to fix that.
Shut up.
That's so funny. Like, I did it at the same time.
That's weird.
Yeah, I just gave you 200, dude.
There you go.
That's very nice.
See, isn't that worth it coming on this fucking show? You got
you did.
Yeah,
it does say anonymous.
You've now made 4 times more than the 4 of us in the last 2 months. You fuck. Get off my show. Get this guy off my show.
Than that, but don't worry about that.
That's so funny. Thank you, Sam. That's very nice of you, dude.
No problem, dude. I hope it goes well.
Thank you.
So what's going on? You're in Brooklyn now? Do you miss LA at all?
And not really surprising. I was just there like for a few days. I got back last night. But
okay, let's separate comedy from just the city. Do you miss the city at all?
I miss the climate. Like it's
right.
If because growing up in it, I grew up out there, so just it kind of feels like home in that sense. So that's nice. I miss In-N-Out. I miss Mexican food. And I think that's and the beach, I guess. And being able to bike any like ride my bike like fucking any day of the year without thinking about it. But I don't want to live there really again unless I had to. And I didn't know how I'd feel when I left. I just knew I needed to get out of there. It was it was like a do or die situation.
What was it though? What was it that pushed you out? Because it's different. I mean, a lot of people, it's the, how oppressive the government's been with COVID. That pushed a lot of people out. But I said
this
maybe
was before.
What was it with you then? What pushed you out?
I was
Was it fighting Sam Tripoli almost at the Comedy Store one time?
False flag, bro.
There would be nobody left in Los Angeles if that was the case.
That's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. It honestly was just like crippling depression and like I just felt trapped and like career's not going the way I want, and I'd tried everything else I could possibly do to help the depression part of it. Like, I got sober 10 years ago now, this in April, and then I got on medication, which I'd never done before. That was another one where it took me a while I was like staring at the thing going, are you going to do this? And I just stared at the pills for like fucking 40 minutes before I finally took them. And I just ran out of shit to change that would make me feel, better. Like I wanted to go on. And then one thing I was like, I've never full-time lived in another city before. I go on the road a lot. Yeah, I lived in Lebanon when I was a little kid, but
that's not a real place.
So yeah, I was like,
but what I'm just curious what you think it is what's different, because I mean it's just another city in America, right? What is that? I mean, 'cause there's this thing about LA, I think that like if I'm not happy here where it's sun shining all the time, you feel almost this pressure to be happy like every day because you're in LA, man, it's awesome. But I mean, is it something like that, or was there something missing from your experience in LA?
I think what was missing was an alternate experience. I mean, living in the same place your whole life,
just changing it up. Okay.
You take for granted all the things you just mentioned, like the good climate, the weather, it's LA, and all these things. And it's like, well, yeah, this has just been my backyard for fucking my whole life. So New York has all those same things, where it's this big, vibrant city. There's tons of people and opportunities and, great food and cultures and museums and like all this awesome stuff. And every time I was there, I'd go for like, a couple weeks or a couple months at a time. I would stay at Ari's old place back in the day. And I kind of
my new place is much better.
Right.
Oh, you're not invited.
Yeah. And I was, I would go 2-month stretches of just being there and doing spots around town. And I felt good. I was like, this city makes me feel alive again and happy and interested in what's going on around me. In LA, I felt like like those days where you can just like, you're almost outside of yourself, just watching yourself robotically move through life. And you're like, fuck this shit. That's what it was like.
So, are you getting a lot of spots out there?
Before COVID, yeah, I was doing more spots than I was in LA. And then obviously during the lockdown and stuff, there were like some outdoor shows and I was like, it just didn't feel right. And then right when things started going back to normal, I hit the road. I've barely been here. And
I saw you when you came driving through, you stopped by and hung out.
Yeah, that was during the kind of quarantine-ish part. I had to fly to LA to take care of some just business bullshit.
How old are you now, Nick?
I just turned 40 in May.
Oh
wow, my God.
I know, man.
Nick is 40.
You couldn't even legally go into the Comedy Store when we met you.
That's unbelievable.
What were you, 19 when we met?
Really?
19?
I was probably 18 or 19 when we
18, 19, coming around in a backpack.
His skateboard with his little skateboard and his fucking.
Yeah, man.
Hey, show me how to put a condom on, mister. He kept calling me mister.
And now here I am begging for money on the internet. What a great career it's been.
I'm going to tell you something. Hold on.
Send me some of those pills I've been hearing about, Nick.
Yeah.
Are you really, I hear you doing the jokes about it. Are you really still, is that still bothering you a little bit, or are you over it now?
What is?
The seeking money through crowdfunding.
I mean, in the back of my mind, there's this feelings you get where I'm still like, I'm very grateful that people are donating. It's kind of, it gives you the feeling where you're like, oh, people do care and they do want me. They do think you should have a special by now. And now that everyone's doing them on YouTube, like, yeah, this makes sense and we will help you. So there is that feeling, but at the same, in that there's always that feeling in the back of your head. And it's been there for all of us throughout our whole careers where it's like, I should be doing more. I should be further along. There's, and this is sort of a reminder of that too. So both feelings are occurring at the same time, but I'm trying to listen more to the feeling of like grateful, sort of like, this is working better than I thought. And it's a humbling experience. And,
everybody's on their own path, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody's on their own path. And, I'm old now.
How old are you?
I'm older than Sam.
I am hurling towards 50, dude.
Hurling. You look great, by the way.
Thank you, dude. I'm sober now. I have a year and over a month. No more running and gun.
Sammy.
I had kids, so it's like it's time not to try to have a heart attack on them. So
yeah, you're a father, dude. Congrats.
Yeah, twin girls. I love them. But so I've seen a lot, dude, and I've seen people get a lot of stuff early. I've seen people get it late, and like everybody goes through it, dude. There's just this time in your life where you just get put in the fucking the ringer and you just get wrong, and it happens to everybody to different degrees, and you just don't know. So everybody's path is their own path. And the one thing I will say, as a guy who's finishing up his fourth decade, right, and about to enter his fifth, is that your 40s are the best. They're just the best because like the pressure of like chasing skirts and all that stuff, it's kind of done, and you really just focus on your craft. And you really start to make great strides. So it's like, I had great 20s, I had great 30s, but man, 40s really like were great for me because I just kind of hit a nice stride. So, the beauty of comedy is like, as long as you're interesting and your act is always growing, you can always find a crowd.
That's true.
If you keep doing the same jokes your whole life, you eventually lose everybody. They're like, oh, dude, you're still doing Reagan jokes or whatever.
Right,
but so everyone's on their own timeline and their own path. And, the future is pretty bright, man. I mean, it's great to put out your own specials. I think it's great and it's fun. And I think you'll enjoy it because there won't be any notes. Oh, man, don't do this joke. Don't do that joke. I think it's fun. And plus, dude, you were at the Comedy Store during my favorite period, which was what they called the dead period or the dark days.
It was
the dark days. It was the best.
As much as I enjoyed the resurgence and the glory days of that, I wouldn't trade anything for those dark days because we were allowed to grow as comedians, and it was just kind of crazy. What was your favorite memories from those dark days?
Honestly, my favorite memories were those nights, like hosting the potluck on like a Sunday or Monday when there wasn't really anyone there, and you had to figure out like, how do I keep the entire crowd here? And like, people will trickle in. Like, what the challenge is, like, get everyone to stay. Like, even the people who are at 7:05, I gotta be, because the comics are going to suck. They're all open micers. They don't know what they're doing. So I'm up on that stage every third, fourth minute. I'm like, can I be interesting and entertaining enough to keep all these people here with the promise that, guys, it's going to get better soon. Trust me, we got regulars coming up and drop-ins. Those challenging nights where it was like, no one's there to help you. Nothing that you can't rely on like a hot crowd or a good night, because there weren't any of those.
Yeah, it was great.
And those late nights at the store where we would all like trickle into the back, and like we're smoking cigarettes in the showroom, and like there's no one there, no one's in charge. We ran the place, and we could like
those fucking menu fights.
Yeah.
And remember with the best game, it was a gambling game because those menus could fly like frisbees. Everybody had their own way of flicking them.
Yeah.
And we would put cans, those 24-ounce beer cans, but empty. They would be empty on a stool in the main room stage. This is fucking 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And all of us would stand back there, and everybody would put $5 on the table. It'd be like 4 people, Don, maybe 6 people. Yeah. And everybody had 5 menus. And whoever fucking hit that can first got all the fucking money. And then everyone would throw $5 out there. It was all the way back there. It was just pew, pew, pew.
There was
Nick,
one night.
Did you ever partake in the debauchery of the dark days? Or were you a get in, get out guy?
What do you mean debauchery? Like how? There was a lot.
I don't know if you were a coke guy, but the drugs and the sex. Did you participate in any of that?
Have you ever fucked at the store?
Oh, in every single room.
Okay.
With another person. With another person.
Oh, then no, never, not.
Yeah. So I knew there was something.
What was the weirdest place you fucked?
Honestly, I got so
the crow's nest.
I got the crow's nest. Yeah.
Yeah. You fucked up there, Sam?
New Year's Eve.
Was a show going on? Vargas Mason's show was going. It was like at the end of Vargas Mason's show, and I was in the crow's nest.
That's funny. I don't know if it was. It might have been during the end of a show, but it was New Year's Eve. I remember that. That was like 2000. Jesus.
New Year's
7, 8,
Eve.
9, 10. Mitzi's office.
Oh, that's ballsy.
Oh, that's
that little one. That little one down in the
cubby. No, upstairs across from the phone room.
That's deep,
that's
bro.
ballsy. Yeah, you got balls there.
Damn.
The phone room, the belly room, green room, the belly room.
Belly room, green room was ballsy too. Anybody could walk in. There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
During a show.
You did.
Yeah, that's true. In the back. Yep.
All the way in the back. Did you ever do that, Jayson?
I never did that.
No. I didn't have sex I had sex outside of the store, up outside of the belly room. You know, when you walk right out the door and there's
you never fucked at the actual store?
No, I'm saying not during a show like that, not in the OR or anything like that. But in
Carlos Mencia was on stage, and I banged this chick in this back law area. I'm like, you want to do this? It's the only room I've done it. She's like, really? I go, Carlos Mencia's on stage. She's like, I like Carlos. I'm like, come on, let's go check something off our list. Bang, bang, pow.
Damn, bang, bang, pow. That should be the name of this episode. But Sam, who ate dick more that night? That girl or Carlos on stage?
Carlos didn't eat dick. He wasn't.
Come on, it's a joke.
He didn't eat a lot of dick. He was just.
No, he was stealing great material, so he never bombed.
That's my big problem.
Taking
like,
top shelf stuff.
I root for Carlos to get back. I think everyone deserves the right for redemption. Just the problem is he just keeps going around telling everybody that he didn't steal. And I'm like, you just add 2 more years to your sentence.
I know.
Every time.
And it's weird because he kind of apologized.
Just quit bringing it up.
Started walking it back.
Just quit even bringing it up. Just don't even. When anybody brings it up to you, just go like this.
No, what happens is a video comes out on YouTube where some comic's talking about him stealing, and then he has to do this fucking response video. It's just like
ignore it.
Literally telling everybody that they're liars.
At this point, he's like OJ.
Entire scene.
I don't want to hear OJ's version of what happened anymore either. It's gone.
That'd be great if Carlos wrote a book. If I stole it,
here's how I would take it. Hey, first up, make sure nobody's looking. I don't know why I was saying he's one of the Mario brothers.
Yeah, man, those dark days at the store were the best. Like
best.
Because that's where all like the real friendships were forged. When
all of us. Everybody loves listening to podcasting now. All of us are in our 40s, and all of us got to know each other in those dark days.
And really got to know each other because none of us had careers. None of us had anything else to do. Yeah,
none of us were married. We were just kids, and all we wanted to do was stand up. That's all we cared about.
And
where were we gigging tonight?
Yeah, more.
And then we all ran rooms too. Everybody ran a different room at a different bar all over town. So really we could perform every night, and it was with the same fucking 13 people.
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
Melissa McQueen and shit.
Yeah, and oh yeah. God,
You're
there's so
old.
many
about her.
names
You
of
ever do the Crooked Bar, Nick Youssef?
Crooked Bar. Which
That
one was
might
that?
be just before you. It was this rock
No, he was
bar
too young.
down
You
the
know the place?
It was on like La Cienega, or I'm sorry, on Crescent Heights and Sunset, that one?
Yeah.
I was too young.
Yeah.
I saw Matt Fultron the other day, and he's one of the few that were like him, Earl.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that came out of there, man. That's
Me,
still a
Jarvis.
Yep, Jarv, you, Brent.
Duncan was not there yet.
Mike.
Oh, Brett Ernst.
Yep, Brett Ernst. Not a lot of people. It's
No.
it's crazy. What do you think, Nick, of this new thing about everybody posting clips of their stand-up?
I was just talking about that with
Yeah, I want to hear this.
who. I'm of two minds about it. I think if you're a comic who's been around a while, and are you eating gruel? Oh no, that's right.
I thought he's
okay, you're just
it's a lot of things.
It's like that
It was
scene in
either
Matrix where they're like eating that. Yeah. Like, it's called
Did this
the
turn
amino
into a
acids.
fucking Our Gang episode all of a sudden?
Yeah, he's in prison. That's why the image is blurred behind you.
It's blurred in the back. It's just one big guy with a gun.
Security guard shows up. He's like, "I told you no podcasting," and drags him away. So
If
I'm
anybody would do
about
a prison podcast, it would be Sam.
Right. I think for comics that have been around a while that have like a backlog of material that's like done and developed and all that stuff, it's like, dude, chop it all up and put it online once every few days, whatever, go nuts. And then when I see the younger comics that kind of are still developing and like, or they're trying out a bit that like say they have been around for a little while, and you could tell it's like, in a month this would be good, but now it's like, oh, and they're doing it, it's like that could be a bad look. But so I feel like both ways about it, but overall I honestly don't think it matters. I think if you just post stuff that's funny enough for younger people that are just scrolling through TikTok and Instagram, I don't think they care. I think if they like it, they'll click like, and then if enough people do it, your shit goes viral. You get 1,000 followers that day, and you show that to like an agent or comedy clubs. You go, hey, my TikTok has 4 million. You're going to be working regardless. And I just think that people don't care as much about waiting and refining because we're past that now. Like we're in a content sort of generating era where people are like, make stuff, put it out, make stuff, put it out. And
well, what do you think that means for the classic hour or half hour? Do you think that's something that might go by the wayside?
Yeah, how long are you going to do? How long is your special going to be?
One TikTok video?
Yeah. It's going to be 2 minutes. That's why I'm raising $12,000 to do a 2-minute special. There's going to be a lot of cameras. So I felt this way before the pandemic. In 2019, I was like, people are consuming too much shit to keep putting out hours. So the last album I put out, I decided no more hour-long albums. I'm going to do EPs. So I started putting out anywhere from 15 to 28-minute EPs. So I recorded an hour in San Francisco in like 2018 or 19. And then I doled it out every 3.5 months. And I was like, this is the way I'm going to do it. No one cares. As long as they have something new of yours, like, cool. And they'll listen to it and they'll go, when's the next one? And they say, when's the next one? Almost right away. And you're like, you guys have no idea how long this shit takes to 60 fucking minutes, So I told myself, I'm like, well, if I ever get a special, I'm like, if I was given an hour, obviously I'll do an hour, but if I had the choice, I'm like, I'd probably do 30. People will probably take their time watching those, they'll watch a few minutes.
Perfect.
Yeah. And
I mean,
I'll
Richard
tell you this.
Pryor's whole thing, I think his first album was a little bit over 30 minutes.
So if you go back and look at all those old school comics from the 60s, 70s, and even into like the early 80s, you look back at their discography, you go, God, these guys were putting out tons of albums. A lot of Carlin's albums were 25. They were all on LPs and they only held so much material. So people have historically in comedy only put out what the technology could hold. So when it was EPs and LPs on records, they were filling the vinyl. When it was CDs, comedians and bands all of a sudden were releasing 78-minute long CDs. A lot of bands didn't even want to do it, but the labels were like, no, we can charge more if you put 78 minutes worth of material. So they were putting filler tracks and all this garbage. And now that everything like
and that ultimately cost them, like people go, fuck you. I'm not.
Yeah.
I remember paying like $20 or whatever I had to pay for the album. And I get like, let's say I got Jay-Z's album. I get 2 good songs, 3 Answer Machine Messages songs, and then the rest is just fucking fillers. Right?
That's so funny. That's so true. That's so true.
1,000,000,000%. A billion
so,
percent.
Yeah, no one's ever like, hooray, because I got all these songs, unless they're good, and a lot of times they weren't. So even music now has gone back to singles like it was in the 50s and 60s, when everyone was listening on fucking jukeboxes and people were putting albums out on 78s. Like they put out as much as the thing could hold and people were purchasing singles. Now we're back to that. So comedy is becoming pretty mainstream now, and there's a lot of money behind it. And so comedians are kind of working in the same way that musicians are, where we are generating more content because people want it, and we're doing it in smaller chunks, so we're putting out like podcasts have to be kind of once a week or more. People want to stay connected, and when you put out material, it's like it was an album a year. It was an hour a year, which is not even that old of a concept. Like Louis started doing that in like 2007 or 8. Then everyone's like, an hour a year. The phrase "my hour" is not even that old, And before that, it was like Chris Rock got hours and Dane Cook got hours, and they were on Comedy Central and HBO, and that was fucking it.
And I think Louis C.K. putting out so many hours diluted his brand, because
a little bit.
It's shit, and he's one of the best to ever do it. But it's just like, it's so hard to put out a murder hour every year.
But you know what it did is it elevated his overall profile so much that he was able to start doing TV shows and directing and blah, blah, blah. And that's what I think is happening now on a smaller scale. Like you can put out a clip a week, and that can lead to other stuff.
Yeah.
And back in our day,
I love it.
Yeah, I think ultimately it's good. You just have to be smart about it. Like some people are putting up like, it's like a premise. It's not even, there's no punchline, or they're doing like, I'm watching a lot of people learn how to do crowd work on Instagram. And that is like
so funny, dude.
It's people just like, hey, so where are you from? Oh, okay. So is that Southern Vermont? Like, I'm like, dude, if you don't know how to do crowd work, like, take a little bit of time. You don't have to film everything and put it up right away.
Yeah.
Spend a few months doing only crowd work, and maybe film them, but like do that for 3 months and be like, I'm not going to put up any of it. And then the next few months, watch the difference, like allow yourself to grow, compare now to then, and be like, fuck, I'm glad I didn't release any of that old stuff. Give yourself a little bit of, of constraints and boundaries.
I agree.
Because really, we've always been our own boss at this. No one's ever told us, like, your friends sometimes are like, don't showcase yet, or don't put that out yet. Like, wait another year, like you tour a little more, then record it or something like that. So
yeah, I totally agree with that. I think there is I'm wondering if there are great young comics out there. I'm not taking that away from anybody. There are some really great young comics out there who've really blown up and stuff like that. And I think they're great. I think I always think Taylor Tomlinson is just going to be the last of the Mohegans in this weird way that, like, even though she hit super young, like she's like, what, 26, 27 now? Like, she's been doing it since she was 13. And like, I just wonder, like, are you going to see like a 10, 12-year vet start to hit again? Or is everything going to be this? And it's fine. Like, I whatever you got to do to get a following, I say do it outside of stealing. Okay. Do whatever you got to do. But if you get this really big crowd early, are you going to go to the gym and eat a bag of dicks like you have to get really good at this, at stand up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good question. And you wonder if ever he just leaves. He's like,
I'll eat all the dicks. I'll eat all of the dicks.
Yeah, you totally will. I'm totally. That's why I love you. I'm like, dude, we need somebody to come here and eat some dicks. Oh, Jason's in. He doesn't need whipped cream on it. He'll just eat dicks, dude.
Sam, before we get into any sports, I got a couple segments I want to do. One segment involves you, so let me know when you're ready for that.
Okay. All right.
You look like you're in the middle of something.
I wanted to feed my dogs, but
go ahead. No, you can feed your dogs.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Hey,
I was just gonna hit the treadmill.
I would have to be eating, and that includes my dogs as well.
You didn't mention the dogs.
Go on.
All right, I'll do this other segment, then we'll feed your dogs, and we'll come back to a segment that involves Sam. But this next
Anything
segment
else you might
do,
need to do, if you need to do any like maintenance on the lawn, go ahead, get it done, man.
There's a popular segment we do here, Nick, called "Why Did You Tweet That?" And I went through a couple of your tweets.
You found some stuff on Nick? Oh, fuck.
No, I just went through a couple of his tweets, and I just wanted to run these by you and say, "Hey, Nick, why did you tweet that?"
Oh shit.
Yesterday,
sorry, Nick.
Why did you tweet yesterday at Nick Youssef says, "Hey, all comedy clubs in New York, I dare you to ban me for life. Your clubs suck. I wouldn't work there for free. Hashtag no abortions."
Well,
the hashtag was weird with the no abortion thing. That's
I was inspired by Clarence Thomas, and I was like, you know what? I'm not taking anyone's shit anymore. So I just started tweeting about it.
Okay, here's one. And we'll get into the big UFC this weekend. It's an incredible card. But St. Patrick's Day, why did you tweet? You think you're so tough, Conor McGregor? I'll fuck you up, you Irish prick.
Well, see, I've been emailing him that for a while, and he doesn't respond. So I was like, I'm taking it public. I've had enough of this guy's shit.
So you just thought, hey, then here's
and look who hasn't responded yet.
Both of the okay. Here's coming up on the 4th of July weekend, 2019 4th of July. Call me nuts, but I'm going to kill the fucking president. I'm not joking. Attention, America. I'm really going to kill the fucking president. I guess that was your being patriotic. But here are two that seem to involve your album. And one, June 18th.
That's Jayson Thibault, possibly Nick Youssef, not Sam Tripoli that just said that, to all the CIA and FBI listening.
Right, yeah.
Well, we'll get into your tweets. But June 18th, why did you say women shouldn't vote? There, I said it. If I'm wrong, may I never get laid again. Get at me, Whitney Cummings, you twat.
Oh, damn.
She just donated all this money to you. And now I'm looking at your tweets right here. I know that's not a phone, here's the last one. And this one really brought me alarmed me because we've been blasting your shit. Sam just donated you money. Well, Saturday. Attention, people donating to my comedy special, and comedy specials in quotes. I don't know why that is. Thanks for the sweet new Tesla, you faggots. Roe versus D Wade. Why does Dwayne Wade have anything?
He's my biggest donor.
Roe?
Can that be the name of this episode? Road versus D Wade? Can we call that Road versus D Wade?
Those are weird tweets, Nick, and I don't know. But this isn't a new segment, but I'm waiting till Sam's ready because I got a quote. Our new segment, Ask Sam a Question. And somebody hit me up on Instagram and said, will you bring this up to Sam? And I was curious enough about what happened. So I'll ask Sam that. But before that, let's do a quick little movie trivia.
Okay.
Who, because this is driving me nuts. You know when you can't get something out of your head and you know what movie, but you don't know the movie? Who said this famous line? And what movie is it from? I don't know. I'm just driving me nuts. Hey, this is Lando Calrissian from the movie Star Wars. Which one of you white bitches want to get your space pussies eaten? What fucking movie is that?
Was that Goodfellas?
It might have been.
I think it was
space pussy. Why is he eating space pussy? Why can't it just be regular pussy?
That's just one of those Italian terms, you know. They're always saying weird shit.
This is Lando Calrissian. Which one of you white space bitches want to get your twat sucked?
Why
I'm in Star Wars
sound like
right
Jason
now.
Galern?
It does sound like. Sam, you got any dates out the gates? But then we'll get into some sports here.
I don't even know when this is coming out. When's this coming out?
Probably this
tonight,
weekend. Before the 4th of July.
Saturday.
Or like Friday night, overnight. Yeah.
Dude, I'm not doing a lot of touring because it's $1,000 to fly anywhere.
Dude, it's
unbelievable,
crazy right now.
I'm going to Colorado. I know I'm going to get stuck there.
I just like, dude, and you could get stuck there, bro.
Yeah,
I'm pretty positive. I'm just
You
like,
could get fucking stuck there, dude, for sure.
And I switch flights. I got to do. It's not like a straight shot, so I could get stuck on my layover.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I sat in JFK for.
I saw that
8 hours, or I had.
Oh my god!
13-hour total flight from airport to airport. JFK
I had a flight 2 hours late. That was for an hour flight.
That's crazy.
Where were you flying to Vegas?
That's
no, I was
so
going
funny.
from Tampa to Tallahassee.
Oh my god, man! Where'd you play Tampa? Did you do the side splitters?
No, well, I did do side splitters last. It's so funny, man. I used to play.
Venue.
Well, I love it there. I used to play the Improv, but it's gone to a black club, and I was like, okay, I'm finally selling tickets now, and I'm like, okay, do you want to ask? They asked the Improv if they want me. Like, nope. I'm like, what? You don't want me now? When I sell some tickets, I'll go to side splitters, and I had a great time there. And the staff there was nice, and I sold it out. But man, it's like kind of crazy. I love Tampa, dude. I would move to Tampa,
Really?
Miami. I just love the shadiness of Florida. The weirder, the better.
Is Simone in Tampa? Is that where he is, or whereabouts?
Simone is just outside of Tampa.
Okay,
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't
I knew
know
he
that.
was down there.
So
yeah,
is Jimmy Schubert just outside.
Schubert
Yep.
moved there too.
Zumach's down there.
It's so crazy. This whole diaspora of like comedians from LA is just.
Well,
So,
also
yeah,
New York
everyone's
City,
moved.
a lot of people move down to the South because it's so much cheaper.
Damn, and there's a lot of cities in Florida. Like you could work clubs and do
Dude,
short
you
road
could
gigs.
just do tour Florida.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta do is just tour Florida.
Yeah, it's like California in that way. California, Texas, and Florida are those states, right, where you could just have an entire
Texas,
life.
yeah, you could never leave Texas.
Texas
You
is
just go.
great, dude. For comedy, Texas
It
is
is.
fucking
Yeah.
great. Now I'm
always
gonna ask
loved it.
Nick, you're not really like obviously like me or Jayson. We like to push the limits to see what we can get away with, right? And we're, I mean, come on, let's face it, we're a little weird.
Yeah.
Do you find this to be true? Like back when I came to LA and you came a few years later, I always felt you did your edgier stuff in LA and then you went on the road and you dumbed it down. I feel now it's kind of flipped, and I've heard this about New York too, particularly Brooklyn, where it's like you gotta kind of be a little bit more safer there, and then you go on the road and you kind of can tee off. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's like you'll get more groans over certain things that are I don't want to say like edgier, but maybe just sort of like kind of just trite and sort of like hacky, that will do a little better on the road, I guess, because it's okay, here's my answer actually. I think that what is considered edgy is not edgy. I think a lot of it's just hacky. And I'm not talking specifics of anyone I've seen. I think in general, when I hear people go like, oh, you can't do jokes about XYZ, I'm like, I mean, my answer to myself is like, why do you want to? Like, people have been doing material, like on whatever, let's say gay jokes or whatever, like since the fucking 70s and 80s. Like, none of it's that like, like ooh and ah and shock and offensive and on edge, and like you're really tapping into your freedom of speech there, and all that. It's like, I think you should do it, but I just think the hackier stuff has always worked better on the road, and it's just simpler, dumbed down, cheap and easy, and fine, do it. I don't care, but I think people are just not calling it what it is now. I think like the whole idea that you can't say anything anymore, in quotes, has been turned into something else. I think a lot of people
Don't you also think that this woke comedy is cookie cutter? Like, let's admit, Nick, you and I have been around for a while. You can almost, in some of these woke rooms, you write down what you think the based on what they look like, what their act is going to be about. And probably 7 out of 10 times, you're going to nail it.
Okay. So But can't you do the same thing with road comics and all these guys who are like, I'm just speaking my mind and you're not allowed to say stuff anymore and all that kind of shit. I can tell you what they're going to say from beginning to end. It's all the shit Dice did in the 80s and 90s.
No, I get that too.
It's most comics suck. Most comics are unoriginal. They're just doing regular comedy, and that's all it'll ever be. And I think a lot of comics don't like that. They're getting to a point where they're basically being called out on that, where it's like, hey man, this shit isn't funny anymore.
You ain't reinventing the wheel.
I think I've been around long enough to when I started comedy, I was seeing all these guys, that were older than me. They've been around a while, and I'm like, these guys are like, kind of hacky, and they're still doing.
But you're not talking about? I mean, like what Chappelle, kind of seems stuck on this trans thing. I think it's funny though, everything he said about it. Well, do you feel that he's kind of lost the plot a little bit with his act now? Is he showing his age with that? I don't think
so. I think people are, stuck on that a little more than they should be. Like I've watched from beginning to end all the specials, and I think people are taking sound bites and they're kind of running off with it a little too much. It's kind of weird that he's spending this much time on it, but again, it's like, do it if you want. You're Dave Chappelle, do whatever you want. But I don't think it's coming from any hateful place.
No, I don't either. I just wondered if you thought that that's something like maybe due to his age now, he's just starting to show his age, but that's some effect of age.
Yeah, I feel like
you can't be in I remember towards the end of Carlin's career, everyone's like he lost his edge. I'm like, he's 70 something.
Yeah, I didn't think he did though. By the way,
I didn't either.
Everything. He got it should be the dark. People around him. My biggest thing is that there is this kind like the only problem I have with political corrupt. Well, not the only thing, but one thing I have against politically correct comedy versus not politically correct comedy is that politically correct comedy allows certain things to happen for some comics and not for other. And I will defend the right to go, black people do funny shit, gay people do funny shit, women do funny shit, and everything. And I'm just going to, something Patton Oswalt said, and I don't agree with everything Patton Oswalt said or hardly anything that Patton Oswalt says, but even though I do think he's a great comic. Yeah. He did say life is hacky. And I think you have a lot of people that when you try to say the most original thing ever said in the history of time, it's very hard to connect with the crowd. I do believe in and this is what I work on every day. And it's kind of why I started this other podcast where I just talk about my life to see if there's anything there is, good luck saying anything original about any observation you ever made. It really is stories from your life that is the most original thing. I do have a problem with the left, and it's like rape jokes, right? Oh my God, you're a dude doing a rape joke. Good luck finding a female comic who doesn't do a rape joke. So it's like this rule for thee and not for me stuff is the biggest issue I have with woke comedy. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, I think people will tend to zero in on something that they particularly don't like, and then they'll ignore the other stuff. And by default, that makes you a hypocrite when you do that. So, I think it's always been that way. I think people will say they're fine with everything, but then one thing will bug them. But now everyone has a voice. So, like, I think the same things that offended people back then, or at least made them go like, this is bad comedy. Like, this is not funny. It's like, it's trite. It's very like hacky. They were saying that back then, but not everyone had a Twitter account. So it's like, you could have those people booing and calling for your head and stuff, but then you could go disappear on the road and still work. That's why a lot of these, when we were starting in like the early 2000s, you would see a lot of like hacky road comics that were doing rape jokes and gay jokes and all these, jokes that you're like, oh my God, they're still talking about that, like Crocodile Hunter jokes and like all these really hacky things. But they wouldn't do that stuff in LA because they would get, people would look at them like, oh, yikes. But then they'd go on the road and kill with it. And I think it's the same material now. It's the same thing. It's just being called something else. It's the same things that are hacky now. Like some people, they still want to say the F word, you know, they want to go like, that guy's being a fat, you know, and you're like, all right, I guess, yeah, you can still say it, but like expect people to not like it. No one says that word anymore.
I do think there,
right.
I definitely think people have it's like you can't just live without reaction and consequence. That's my biggest thing.
Right.
You can't control how people react. My biggest problem with cancel culture is that it tends to be corporations that jump in immediately and don't really let anybody kind of feel out if anyone's really offended or not. So it's like, oh, boom, you said a joke, bang. But anyways, enough of that. I'm super excited about your special coming out. You are Old School Comedy Store. You're part of the family, and I'm super happy you're doing well. Now, do you like any sports? I forget if you're a big sports guy.
He's a big boxing guy, UFC. You're a UFC guy as well.
Not really. I watch some UFC just like casually, but I'm a big boxing guy.
Do you ever take boxing lessons?
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
I love boxing. I love learning boxing. I think boxing is having a really great resurgence right now. I think that, it's kind of almost like what's happening in the NBA, where like people like the Greek Freak are like, I don't want to play with anybody. I want to be my own team and dominate everybody. Whereas kind of Floyd Mayweather was like, I'm not fighting this guy and I'm not fighting that guy till it's the right time. And he did eventually fight a lot of people. He just picked and choose the time that he didn't do it. But now you're starting to see these guys wanting to fight each other. And I'm super excited about that. And I think the UFC has forced boxing to start making these fights.
Yeah, I think it has, because a lot of people are just going, well, boxing isn't exciting anymore, so let's go watch this UFC card. And it's just people fucking, there's more action per minute than there is in any, boxing matchup. So it's more exciting in that sense. If you just want to, watch people screaming and, yelling and people throwing each other around, you're like, this is a more exciting combat sport in that sense. But it is forcing boxing to like make the big fights happen. And they're still not doing it enough. Like you will have fighters now just talking shit to each other on Twitter and Instagram. And you're like, all right, well, you obviously know each other exist. Like sit down and make the fight happen. Like Devin Haney made the fight happen with Kambosos in Australia right away. He was like, I want to be undisputed in my weight class. Kambosos has all the belts. I'm going down there. And they made it happen with no hiccups. And that was all the way across the fucking globe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Ryan Garcia will be on Twitter and Instagram all the time. I'm taking out Gervonta and I'm fighting. And none of them ever do it.
I don't think he wants a piece of Gervonta Davis, by the way. I don't think
so either.
Yeah, I mean, I think he says he does, but I don't
think
he does.
He's got to say that, but you don't want none of that. I don't think so either.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants that guy. Nobody. I mean, that dude hits people with his car and runs home. He ain't afraid, bro. Right? It's like unbelievable, that guy.
He's got like knockout power in many different ways, which is not common in a lot of fighters. Like he's dangerous from a lot of different angles, and he can move. He's small, he's fast.
Yeah, especially guys at that size usually have to sit down on it really to knock a guy out, but not him, man. You're like you said, many different angles.
Yeah.
What do you think about the YouTube guys getting into boxing now? Do you take this seriously? I mean, it seems a lot of people are. A lot of people are watching it. Do you think it's good for boxing? I do.
I think boxing they've gotten in bed with the devil, in a way where they're like, okay, we need eyes, and the Paul brothers have a lot of followers, so I think they were like, okay, we'll take.
I don't think it's weird. I don't think it's weird.
They do seem to be taking boxing.
I think that it's weird.
Right? Don't you think?
When I say that I think it's weird, what I mean is that just regular average Joes have worked their way actually into professional sports late in life. It's like you became a YouTube star and all of a sudden at fucking 38, you're fucking in the NBA. You're like, this guy didn't even play college ball.
They are like the Taylor Thompson of YouTube, meaning that they've been doing it since they were like 12 years old. Like
I'm talking about boxing. I'm not talking about them.
About this. And like as a comedian, like we're used to YouTube people now coming in, and like there's so many people that were resistant to it. that were like, fuck these YouTube guys. Then people started going, oh man, I can get a following going if I focus on my internet. So I think that's what's going to happen to boxing. These guys are going to have to realize that if they want to sell a bunch of tickets, they're going to, I mean, it just helps. They don't have to. They can either be great boxers or they can try to get big and sell tickets through that. I have no problems with it.
But I don't either, because I think they've approached it. I mean, if you ignore what they say, which I think is all fair, really, because it's promoting a fight, they seem to have approached boxing with some reverence. You know what I mean? They're actually doing real training. They're real
Jake Paul
fights.
is putting the work in. Like
they have to, yeah.
You could see him getting better. He's taking it seriously. For those first couple, you're like, all right,
those were jokes. Yeah,
he's gonna do this. It's a cash grab. He'll leave, but he's putting the work in. But I still won't call him a real boxer until he.
Do you think
a professional with a record? He needs to fight an actual professional.
What do you think about Tommy Fury then? I mean, that qualifies, right? Surely. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of fights. He's got a few fights, but it's a real guy.
It would be the most serious one of all the rest, for sure. That's when I'd go, okay, he actually put more on the line. It's not just some like former fucking, NFL or NBA player that just put on some gloves and was like, I'm athletic. Here we go. Yeah. Then, I think, I don't think Tommy Fury's, great.
No. I mean, I think he's like 8-0,
So what is his record for right now?
Tommy Fury?
No, Paul.
I think it's like 2 or 3-0 or
four,
something, but not against.
I think
not
it's
against
4-0.
real.
But most boxers coming in, most 4-0 boxers aren't headlining these giant pay-per-views. So it's kind of like what we see when people go to the head of the class in stand-up comedy.
I was going to say, do you think the boxers look at the Paul brothers the way comics look at Brennan Schaub
or Steve-O or something like that?
I'm just saying he's somebody that got famous in another world and was able to sell tickets at comedy shows.
Yeah.
While he was developing as a comic, he was getting 20 years of fucking in the comedy gym shows. I'm not knocking him, but I'm saying a lot of people have that kind of.
That is what happened, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. They both kind of have that.
Something to that. And again, I love Schaub, and
I didn't say that was a cheap shot to him. I'm saying a lot of comics say, "Hey, this guy."
He listened. Did we all? It's not saying anything negative. He jumped the line.
Yeah.
And listen, that special that everybody hates. Okay, that was the best special from a 2-year comic ever. And the people who should be blamed for that is Showtime for wanting to give him a 2-year comic a special. And I think for all the comics I've seen 2 years in, that's pretty fucking impressive. So I defend him because it's pile on right now. Just everyone's piling on. And it's just, I mean, I just feel bad because I know him as a person and he's the nicest guy. He's the nicest dude. And
I've heard he's a really nice guy. Yeah.
And it just, for me, I know there's a lot of people who here's something, regardless of what you think is comedy. I love him and I don't mind. I like gigging with him. So I don't have a problem with it. Okay. But I'd rather hang out with someone who's cool off stage and shaky on stage than someone who is a complete douchebag off stage and fucking is funny on stage. Because there's a lot of that. These fucking people who kind of like, I'm wacky.
I'd rather,
and that's how, but
I'd rather hang out with somebody that's cool off stage and fucking hilarious on stage.
Yeah,
I mean that's an ideal.
Way to go out on a limb.
Right.
That's just the option you forgot. You just forgot that. That was even better.
I think in the end, that's
like I'd like to hang out with a nice person. That's great, Jason. Thank you.
I think Jason was joking, Sam.
Yes.
Oh, you think so?
Okay. All right. I get you.
I think that's what allows people to get in and cut in line. It's that like, people will just appear in a scene, whatever it is, boxing, stand-up, and they've done some other stuff. And then there's the people that are like, I don't mind because he's cool. And then there's the people that are like, well, I don't mind because I can make money off him. And the next thing you know, they're ahead of everybody. And that's every industry. Like there's no way around that. And I don't know Schaub. I don't think I've ever met him. I've never watched a minute of his stand-up. I know that people like him, and I think that's great. And It's always been this way in comedy. So when I saw that coming, I was like, okay, it's just another example of that, and I'm going to go back to my life now. I didn't give it a moment.
I agree.
Of energy, because I'm like, these things happen in every industry.
Of course.
And those are the things you learn after a while. Like I imagine it's only younger comics that are bitter about this. None of us care.
I mean, to qualify, I've watched every Paul fight, and I'm definitely not going to miss his next one. You know, I'm just wondering, is there resentment amongst boxers?
I think
for somebody like him to get all this money without doing the harder part of the arduous work of coming up through the ranks.
What's funny is that this thing is newer in boxing than it is in stand-up or acting.
Oh yeah,
and you know what I mean. So I think they're all like, wait, what the fuck do we do with this? Has never happened.
It is an interesting parallel though, right? Because I mean, there's a toll that getting in the ring takes on you, similar to the toll that being, appearing and bombing in front of a crowd takes on you. There are a lot of similar parallels if you look at the two of those things. It's interesting.
Yeah, and it to get good involves a lot of work and
exactly
all that. And you're performing live in front of people essentially.
Yeah.
I think he is. I think a lot of people in boxing, and when you listen to the commentators when you're watching like real fights, they'll mention that there's a Paul fight, and they'll sort of, you can see him take shots or just go like, "Look, I think it's good for the sport," and they'll want to move on. I think most of them are like, "We're going to tolerate this." And then hopefully he gets good enough and starts fighting real boxers, and then we're going to be perfectly fine with it. But we're still in that transition period where it's like, will he stick this out, or will someone offer him a movie or two, and then he'll be like, I want to be an actor now, and then he'll never box again in his life. That still could happen next month.
What are you talking about? Female comics? I love boxing. Big UFC coming up. Are you at all into NBA at all? At all?
No,
you're not even. Forever. How hipster are you? You're not a Brooklyn Nets fucking fan?
That's a good question.
A lot of hipsters are very into sports. I've always found that funny when people go, "You're a hipster." I'm like, I know a lot of hipsters that really love sports.
Yeah. It's because if you became a hipster after you were into sports, you stayed into sports. But you kind of kept it. You were like in the closet, like you were gay in the 80s.
I did the opposite though. I watched football, basketball, and all that stuff all through the 90s into the early 2000s. And when I started stand up, I just forgot about all sports and all everything. And then I just sort of fell out. I never could get back into it. I don't know why. Maybe I just loved sports as a kid, and then when I got older,
you love sports enough to beat Ari in basketball.
Yeah, I did. And he thought, he was like, there's no way you even know how to play because you wear skinny jeans or whatever.
He had to wear your cum socks.
Reason. He did, yeah.
For 24 hours.
The glory days of Punch Drunk.
I know.
Just jizzing on each other, dude.
Do you guys still do bag of bets or no?
Well,
you haven't had it in a long time.
Our bag of bets is held hostage at ATC right now. I've been talks with Aaron to get it back.
Oh, really?
I got to run up to Burbank and grab it.
Negotiating with them?
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to find a day where I can swing up there to get it. It's not. I'm just joking, but it's. We left in the studio.
They were such big fans of us over there at ATC.
Are you guys not working with them at all? I know that they've gotten rid of a lot of podcasts, and
yeah, we were one of them. I think the first call was like, "Hey, listen, man."
Really? You guys did really well for them.
Well, for a while, but we got in a lot of trouble over there. We got their YouTube page taken down for like a month.
Ari just kept taking his clothes off on the live stream.
We cost them about as much money as we made for them. We had that explosion with the fucking Mickey Gall and fucking.
I love it.
Lewis. Yeah, the hat blowing up. Yeah, Magic
Louis Gomez.
Yeah,
they were pissed with
it. We were outlaws.
You were.
Yeah. NBA is, I mean, like, I know I want to get into UFC. We'll end on that, but NBA is crazy. All these, I don't know how much you guys are into what's happening in NBA. Jayson never loves when we talk off-season NBA, but a lot of craziness coming on. John Wall coming to the Clippers. What do you think?
Is that official?
I mean, it's looking pretty good
out there. Because you just hear it, here it's all Chicago Bulls news, Cubs, White Sox, and then they'll just be like, "Hey, John Wall potentially," and then you go, "What?" Are they talking about it a lot out there? Like this is a real thing. It seems
like a done deal because he's like really good friends with Paul George.
Now, see, I would like John Wall fucking 6 years ago.
Well, I mean, like, we don't need John Wall to be the John Wall of the Wizards. At worst, he could be a great backup, but I still think he's got some.
Let me ask you this:
in him.
George, Wall, Kawhi Leonard. What is the over/under of number of games that all three of them play together in one season?
Great question, bro. And
Is Leonard still in the Clipper? Is he still a Clipper?
29.
Kind of. Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard? Is it still
regular season, not playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Regular season, not playoffs. Don't include the playoffs because hopefully they'd all be there for that. I'm throwing that out there.
Wait, total all between all three?
Yeah.
All three of them play in the same game. The whole game.
Oh, they play in the same game. Okay.
I'm going under.
So you think a quarter of the season, all three of those guys are healthy at the same time?
I think it's going to be. I mean, I hope it does. I'm not right, but I really do believe
that's a good line. That's a good mark because what's likely to happen is one of them is going to get hurt and be out for
2 months,
quarters of the season. Yeah, and then that blows the bet. So yeah, I mean, should I go over, but not by much.
Last time Kawhi Leonard played, nobody got their first vaccine shots yet.
That's amazing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because he's all out last year.
Yep. He hasn't played in a year and a half.
So what are his injuries? What's keeping him out of the game?
So he's driving down the lane versus the Utah Jazz, and dirty ass motherfucker Joe Ingles bumps into him like a shady Australian fuckface. And
it wasn't that bad
with his goddamn
wasn't.
With
Australian hack jokes,
dingo fucking looking face, and he got an ACL tear. And
put a shrimp on the Barbie.
Oh.
Yeah, he got a fucking shrimp on the Barbie, and he's out for an entire season. And the whole thing about Kawhi Leonard is he won't play unless he feels like as close to 100%. Yeah. And which was very weird because they're like, if they get to the finals, he may come back. And of course, they didn't get to the finals. Then he took all of next year off. It's just like, what the fuck, man? I love Kawhi. He's the greatest Clipper of all time, but god damn.
You got to play for him to be great.
Yeah. Even better than what's his name? Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin's the most important Clipper of all time.
Okay.
Did I tell you guys?
Player, though, right? Tough. What's the story? Sorry, I just want to show you this Ingles entry real quick. This is nothing dirty. Look at that. That's nothing
totally
to that.
Dirty, Johnny.
No, watch the other angle, dude. This is not.
Yeah, go back.
It's dirty as fuck, bro.
He knows right there his knee is done.
Yep, here we go. Boom, just totally hits.
That boy, he wiped him out, huh?
Yep.
That didn't look that bad.
No, it's not that bad.
Let me see this.
It's a hip check.
Look at that. Look at that. Dirty.
That was intentional.
I
don't think it was dirty. It was intentional.
Right now,
he hip checked. That happens a million times every game.
Should be forced to walk through the city
naked
as someone rings, shame, shame, shame.
You have a paper mache fucking leader on your team. That's what it is. He's made of paper mache.
That's my point.
Brittle.
And then George is the same way, and fucking Wall is made of fucking glass. I love all three of them together, but you really are.
We'll see, bro. We'll see, dude. We'll see.
It's a land of misfit toys. It's becoming the land of misfit toys.
And if they crash and burn this year, I guarantee you the Clippers move them. They're like,
really?
Dude, this is going to be year 4 of this experiment.
Really, too, because Kawhi hasn't fucking played.
Right, but this is like the 4th year together.
Nick doesn't even really care about basketball, and he's played in the same amount of games as Kawhi Leonard in 2 years.
Wow. Wow.
In the NBA. In the fucking
I just got
NBA.
drafted by the Clippers. Did I tell you that?
I love that, dude.
The hair clippers.
Dude, we got all those Lebanese bitches at the games trying to get knocked up by Nick Youssef. So here's a trade. So it looks like they're still going to try to move Kyrie. So now the question is,
wait. I thought he said today he was saying in the Nets. Is that not?
I thought it was too. I heard that.
No, he's opted in, but they still think they're going to try to move him.
Oh, really? Even after that, because it seemed like he was wanting to stay in town.
Yeah. It really
tweeted
made it sound
something like, "Hey,
done.
I'm looking forward to fighting with the Nets next year."
He says that all the time. He says that he's a crazy guy. I mean, I like him in some ways, and then he's a little off in other ways. But so if they trade him, what do they do with Kevin Durant? And I
Lakers
trade.
Lakers.
Are you ready? Are you ready, guys, for my miracle trade? I'd love to hear what you think.
Here comes one of Sam's
Kevin
famous
Durant for
NBA
Zion Williams.
That's not, no, that's not gonna. Nobody's trading for Zion until he proves that he can actually play basketball. He's a professional basketball player who's never professionally played basketball for even a quarter of a season.
That fat fuck is another one. That dude is a fucking fat fuck. Someone needs to be on cheeseburger patrol with this fucking guy. Nobody really. He wears a New Orleans jersey on the bench because he hasn't.
So does he have does he have a history of injuries?
I think he has diabetes. Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's just young and hurt.
Young and fat though. He's too fat to be that young.
Yeah,
he really is.
Dude, when you're this fat now, what's gonna happen when you hit 30?
That's it. Yeah,
no, exactly.
40.
He's a kid that's a hungry hippo. He was a fat kid in a fucking athletic body, and now he's got all this money, and he's just fucking extra butter with the lobsters, putting butter on his syrup. Look at this fucking big kid.
Wow,
this fucking
but he still can dunk. Like half court.
But it's bad on his body jumping with all that fucking.
No, you're right. But they say he lost a lot of weight.
Y'all know where craft services is.
He's got a Shaq body type.
Yeah, and
he's what 6'6",
6'3". Yeah, whatever.
Fuck, I thought he was okay. That is huge.
But he's also putting up like historic numbers when he actually plays.
Of cheeseburgers
or
insane numbers.
Rebounding, not defense though. He's not a good defender.
Offense, but we'll see. So that was it. So
how many chicken fingers is he averaging a night?
Well, hey, let's talk about the Freeman thing real quick because this just blows my mind. This gets more interesting by the day. So Freddie Freeman wanted to stay in Atlanta, and according to Doug Gottlieb today, which I don't know why Doug Gottlieb would have this scoop, but he had two sources that told him that Casey Close, Freddie Freeman's agent, just flat out didn't give him the last fucking offer from the Braves. Just flat out didn't give it to him.
Knowing well he wanted to come back there and play there.
Yeah. And they suggest that he knew Freddie would take it and he didn't give it to him. And so the Braves moved on and he ended up signing in LA where Casey Close has several other players, on his books. And so Freddie this week apparently went back to Atlanta to play, found out about this is what we're told. And then we found out yesterday that he fired his agent. So this is just unbelievable. This is crazy.
He could get sued for that. He could get sued for that.
Crying every time he fucking gets on the field.
He can't stop crying. Yeah.
Dude, he was like at first base going,
amazing.
I mean, it was crazy. Every time he got to the bench, he's like,
show Nikki.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Hold on a second.
Wait, crying like for at what?
But imagine this.
Well,
Nick,
it was his first game back where he played. He played 15 years in Atlanta. It was his first game back, and he was getting his World Series ring. And they did these like special videos and shit.
Yeah.
And usually guys don't watch that shit and try to kind of
focus.
Yeah. Is this? Yeah. I mean, this is not an impressive video here, but this is him over at first base trying to wipe his eyes here and. But there's other, here's another one. Here's him this is before the game.
Crying before he even gets on the field.
Okay, so Nick, he's supposed to give like an interview before the game. He has to get up.
Yeah, I'll show you that one.
The interview starts, runs out, cries in the hall, comes back, and just like.
I mean, he played there forever and finally got a World Series ring, and then he gets moved on from.
I just like, dude, you're a Dodger.
Hold on, let me.
Yeah, I mean, there's worse things to cry about.
Yeah, you gotta go play baseball in Southern California.
Make millions.
You got
of dollars.
Well, you know why I think this week was hard on him because originally he had been snarky with Atlanta, the front office. And had kind of used it as motivation because he thought that they basically told him to kick rocks, and then he found out this week that they didn't and they wanted him back. And I think that made it super emotional for him. I'll find it in a second. Give me a second,
would immediately trade him to the Minnesota fucking Twins and be like, oh, bitch, there you go.
But I mean,
bad now. Go play for the go to.
He's
play
playing
for the
well
Marlins.
though. You can't trade a.
Go play in the Mall of America.
Go play.
I mean, there's worse things to cry about. This guy could be crying about fucking Roe versus Wade Phillips and all this.
Oh, here it is.
Wade Phillips.
Here we go. This is what you're talking about.
This episode should be Roe versus Dwayne Wade Phillips.
You're supposed to be going in to answer questions from press here. And he goes, hold on.
something really bad happened.
This is his first. This is his first day back in LA.
Something really bad happened. I had to go to LA to play baseball for fucking $40 million. I'm dealing with some shit.
He ended up, by the way, getting less money than Atlanta offered him in their last deal because a lot of the money he's getting from LA is deferred. They said he went out and then didn't come back for a few minutes to the presser after that. So he's just been really weird about it. Super emo.
Johnny, look up Atlanta Braves. Look something up real quick. Atlanta Braves come big cocks.
Okay. Oh, that's already in my search history. Hold on, I'll do it now.
Pops up.
He's got a tab open
One
already.
cup of noodles.
That is a crazy story. I mean, that's negligence. He should be sued for that because
I would sue him.
If you have an agent, manager, let's say in Hollywood, and you go, "Hey, I really want to be in this new Avengers movie," and they want you to go work on another movie, and they don't tell you, "Hey, man, they did make you an offer, and one movie you want, but I want you to, fuck
You're like,
that.
hey,
That's
dude,
negligence."
I want to be in the new Thor, and you show up on set for the other movie, and it's hot gay porn, and you're like, "Hey, dude, do I at least get a stunt double?"
I read for
negotiate that, dog. It's just
I read for this. I read for this. Well, it was a script I wrote, but I auditioned for it. Called Thor and the Blown Out Butthole.
Did you get the part?
Well, I went straight to producers.
What were you going in for, Thor or the Blown Out?
Well, I was definitely the thing is, he gets his fucking that gigantic hammer thing. He lodges that into my asshole.
I went out
him
for the
into
hammer.
another multiverse. He gets sucked into a multiverse.
Man, I would love to watch you guys in a movie together about Thor, a hammer, and a butthole. Dude, that would.
Yep.
I bet you can get funding on fucking GoFundMe for that real quick.
Yeah.
And
real quick.
only Thor is strong enough to pick up my boner. It's weird. It's very weird.
Is that the
Sam,
name of
do
this
you-
episode?
What about this Deshaun Watson 1 year suspension?
Did he get 1 year?
Well, that we'll find out in the next couple of days. The NFL wants
NFL
1
leaked
year,
it. Yeah.
a minimum of 1 year.
Well,
That's what they're saying.
What
I
did he
have my
do?
opinions.
What did he do? He got
well, I would like to know how many diapers were bought with this fucking hand job money that he paid, huh? How many babies, babysitters were covered with this hand job money? I mean, are they coming out and saying that he forced them to do this to him? Is that what the discussion is? Or did he just ask for a hand job and he paid them well for it? I mean, I'm like, we have this whole thing where like OnlyFans is seen as some like fucking sex positive shit, like finger blasting your snatch for strangers for $5 a month is seen as like empowering. But some dude going, "Hey man, can I get a hand job on top of this massage?" is suddenly like the worst sin of all time.
Well, and I want to just plug again. Go to my Lonely Fans if you want to see me rehearse this Thor movie. Lonelyfans.com.
Did we ever buy that domain?
I have a
Here's that
Lonely
Freeman
Fans.
picture, by the way. That's that
That
last
one.
Freeman thing of him just on the bench alone.
He's going to be the next. You know the sad Keanu memes. He's going to be the next one of those.
There's the crying Jordans. Yeah.
There's no shortage of them to go around.
Well, here's what's funny. And Johnny and I were talking about this on our Patreon. Please feel free to subscribe to that. If anybody gives us $10,000 on Patreon, Nick Youssef will come over and he will suck the exhaust off your car till he's dead.
I love that about
But only if you donate to my GoFundMe.
But we were saying this, Sammy. Here's all the rumors. Just like how Wall is going to the Clippers, it pretty much is going to be Baker Mayfield going to Carolina. Guess who Carolina plays week 1? At Cleveland. So Baker Mayfield could go to Cleveland and beat the team that just told him to go fuck off while their $200 million quarterback is suspended for a year because everybody in Houston gave him a fucking blowjob with their knuckles.
Apparently, they're $4 million apart, by the way. That came out today. The Cleveland wants to pay half of his $18.8 million salary, and the Panthers want another $4 million out of him. So that's what's keeping them apart.
What's super interesting. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you're Cleveland, I mean, are you going, "Hey, dude, let's hold on to see if this guy gets suspended or not"?
Well, no, but he can't. I mean, there's no, and I asked Jason about this, but
he's
we don't
gone.
think there's any way Baker can play there.
It's going to be a Jacoby Brissett party, and then maybe they'll make a move for Garoppolo if they get him a year. But that's it. It'll be.
How about
Brissett.
Sam Darnold? We'd love to.
Or Darnold in some sort of trade. Yeah, Darnold could be part of that somehow. some way, shape, or form.
Here's the craziest thing. If you talk to people from Houston, they think Houston set up Watson, right? And now the Houston Texans have been named in all the suits because they were giving him
they paid his club membership at this place.
They basically gave him all these forms to fill out, non-disclosures, NDAs.
Yep.
So now they're getting sued, which is super interesting.
Well,
all over hand jobs?
All over hand jobs, bro.
Yeah. He was going to massage parlors and basically just dropping his towel down and, kind of swinging his dick around. Kind of moving hands down. You know that move you used to do when you're in high school, kind of pushing your girlfriend's head down.
High school.
Can you just touch it?
That thing. Yeah. He was doing a lot of that.
Just touch it.
I always go, my move is.
Wait a minute. This guy's a famous athlete. I can turn this into some.
Well, dude,
and then there was hundreds.
Like they're coming out of the woodwork. Like
hundreds.
How many hand jobs did you want, bro?
He was hitting up girls on Instagram models. Blah blah blah.
What kind of world do we live in where a NFL quarterback can't get some free app? I mean, like, what is the point of
like being a star? He's a star.
Imagine
he's a 26-year-old star.
In between the people that came out against him, there were probably a lot of willing ones. So he's probably got a serious.
If you got one cockroach, you got a cockroach problem.
He's got a high body count.
And who gets off on? 100%. Who's like their favorite thing is getting jerked off? Like, do you know anybody whose favorite thing is getting a hand job?
That's the.
And I said this on the Patreon. I go, or last week's episode, I go, what? I'm fucking almost 50. You know how many fucking hand jobs I had in my life? Fucking 6, and they all sucked.
Yeah, that's
a $500 fucking hand job. Fuck you.
That's a
$500 fucking hand job.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
The fuck out of here.
It's a consolation prize. That's not what you look forward to.
Here's how many good hand jobs I've had in my life. This is how many good hand jobs I've had in my life. 0. Is
that the hand that gave you the hand jobs, by the way?
Not including my own hands. We're not talking about our own hands. Have any of you ever? If you think right now, you go, oh yeah, that was fucking really good hand job I had. No way.
Never.
No, they all take.
No, maybe
8 years.
Johnny.
I mean, it's like none. They just take too long.
Maybe Johnny and his fucking family's farm sticking his fucking dick on the cow milker.
Who could be better than yourself? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, who else is going to know where to put the finger in your butt, right? I mean,
exactly.
Come on.
Thor.
Yeah, or how tight to pull the belt, and when exactly when to pull the belt. Like, come on.
How tight to pull the belt.
What you had a thing you wanted to end on, Sam? What was it?
UFC.
I want to talk a little UFC, and then I got some dates. Before we get to the UFC, can I do some dates real quick?
Oh yeah, I need to know where you're at.
I will. Oh, and I also got a GoFundMe going because Nick gave me a good idea for these pop-up books on tape I've been working on. Do not listen to these in the car. Do not listen to them while you're driving. But I need
books on tape.
5,000 million. I need 5,000 million for that. So, and then a couple quick dates, and then we'll get into this UFC. Nick, guess what?
Yeah,
Chicken Butt. I'll be at Chicken Butt.
It's a good venue. Who booked that?
All last week, Mark. I'll be there all last week. And then I'm doing a seminar next week at the Cheviottsville Pantomime School for the Blind. Hey, I'm not good at pantomime, but they can't tell. And then, and 4th of July, good news. 4th of July, guys. I'm back by popular demand. This 4th of July, I'll be at Glory, Glory, Hallelujah on the wrong side of a hole, playing my own game of whack-a-mole with my mouth for good old USA. Sam, what about your dates?
I'm going to be in New Jersey, July 15th and 16th. I'm going to, I have a comedy club in Morris Plains, New Jersey, Nick. If you ever want to stop by, do a guest spot or try to book a weekend, you can go do that.
Wait, you have a club?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What happens is my friend, his family has a restaurant, and upstairs they have this gorgeous room that we've turned into a comedy club.
Oh, that's cool.
It's kind of like how the dojo was at in Hollywood.
Yeah,
I'd love to do that.
Yeah, just hit me up. We'll make it happen.
Yeah,
and then
thank you.
I'm following. Then in August, like I said, I'm not doing a lot of road until the price of fucking flights go down.
Yeah.
And in August, I'm at Cobb's, and then I might be going home to do the Funny Bone in Syracuse in August as well. But I don't know the price again. Flights have to.
Oh, August. I'm at the Drop in South Bend, Indiana. Right, I'm over there by the river, so I'll give you the dates on that. But early August, I'm at the Drop. Oh, and I'm going to see the Black Keys and Band of Horses. If anybody's going to be in Chicago and you see me there, go, hey man, funny stuff.
I think I might go see Soft Cell. They're playing in LA this weekend. You know that band Soft Cell? I like them.
Tainted Love.
Yeah. Well,
Tainted Love.
The Mars Volta are touring again. Did you see that?
No shit, really? Wow.
Yeah, they released a new single. They're going to tour in the fall.
Is it good? I haven't heard the single. Is it good?
I've only heard it once. With their music, I have to hear it 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, it's not like melodic, right? There's a lot going on.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
The fucking drums, spin that fucking disc.
Yeah, spin that disc, bro.
Unfucking believable. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Big UFC this week, and this is their best foot forward. By the way, if you don't know Nick, you know how they always have football on Thanksgiving. They always have NBA on Christmas.
Yeah.
4th of July weekend is always the biggest weekend of the UFC. It's always their best foot forward. Yep. And this card does not disappoint. We have several title fights.
Okay.
I don't really care for the undercard very much, which is fine. But the main event, look at that. Izzy Adesanya. Arguably my favorite fight. Max Holloway against Volkanovski. Now, this is the third time they've let them fight, and Holloway has lost both of them. A lot of people thought Holloway
third one.
Because both of them were so fucking close, and a lot of people thought Holloway won the last one, and they both cleared out the division again. So here they are. Both of their last 2 fights were incredible, and Volkanovski won the belt the first time.
Undercard, there's some good shit on the undercard.
Well, let's go through. We'll go through it, but
Jim Miller versus Donald Cerrone.
I do like, Cerrone.
And then
Jim Miller.
Brad Tarvis versus that dude. Come on, that dude
versus that dude.
Brad Tarvis, not his name. Versus that dude. Cool.
Dricus Duplessis.
Brad Tarvis. Where do you
Tavares?
Oh,
okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Nobody's perfect. Everyone fucks up.
But Uriah Hall, that's not the same card.
Here's my whole thing. I really like these chick fights because both of these chicks are hot. By the way, I didn't know that fucking Liza Schlesinger is fighting on the first fight.
That's funny.
Jessica Clark Rose looks like a young.
That would be hot because I've always wondered if Schlesinger could take a fucking punch.
Jessica I versus Macy Barber. Both are hot chicks. I like them both.
This isn't the same card, is it?
Evil is her nickname.
Okay, early prelims. It's the early prelims.
There's the early prelims. Okay, cool.
Evil Eye. That's cool.
Her nickname should be Jessica Black Eye.
Yeah, or Brown.
Maybe on Tinder.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
On Tinder, it should just be Jessica Black Eye, and then she should post her face.
The ladies fight the one that opens up the whole thing. That one down there. Oh shit, she looks like she's fighting some kind of Russian, bro.
When you got a leg tattoo like that, you're hiding something. Track marks.
I think that's so hot. I fucking love a tatted up chick like that.
Leg sleeve.
Let's see. I think she has a teardrop, bro. Would you beg a chick with a teardrop? Oh snap!
Dude.
I wouldn't. You know what? I have a hard
bigger than my dick. Honestly, I don't think I could do much there.
I have a no teardrop rule.
She has 7 losses. Wow.
They both have 7 losses.
That's one thing I like about the UFC over boxing is fighters will lose fights
100%.
and people don't care. They're just
that's why you're getting the trilogy with Volkanovski and Holloway. Everybody thought those were fights of the fucking year, and you're like, I want to know. I'm not satisfied with the first 10 rounds of this. Give me 5 more of it.
Yeah, and as someone who doesn't watch a lot of UFC, sometimes I'll just tune in the middle of a a night of full of fucking amazing fights, and I'll just start watching, and I'll go, wow, that was great, and then only after I'll look up, who was that guy, and I'll look at their records, and I'm like, I wouldn't have cared at all if one guy.
You're right. All the undercard for boxing it's always a prospect versus some guy, some bum, some can of corn, and then you know the main event. Sometimes
it's like in like the WWE, you know, they'll be like The Undertaker versus John Smith. You know, it's like just
you know who's gonna lose that shit.
You know,
totally. Yeah,
and that they do that too much in boxing. Everyone wants to keep that zero, and the UFC has that over boxing by far. They just will let good fighters fight.
Hey, sometimes you get choked out. Sometimes you find yourself in a precarious situation.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think that's a good lesson in life too.
Yeah.
It's like undefeated is, you know, you have to go through losses to have adversity. Otherwise you become an asshole like fucking Mayweather.
What do you guys like here?
Well, I was just going to.
I think this is Cerrone's last fight, right?
He's been saying that, but it's gotta be. I think it is. I think it is.
He's supposed to fight. I forget what his name is. Joe Lozon. And it just, they kept trying to do it. They kept trying to make it happen. And just finally it's like, no. So he stepped in to fight Jim Miller, who's been fighting forever. Dude, look at these guys' fight counts.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
Cerrone owns most wins, most tap outs, most fights of the night. I mean, he literally is like a Tom Brady of the, you know, he's got every record that there is. And now it's like, you don't want to see him get hurt. You know, he's at that old stage where you're like,
how old is he?
He's 67.
He looks pretty good for
I mean,
for a guy's collecting Social Security.
He's
got to be
mid 30s.
I would say 38.
And that's kind of old for
but he's been fighting for a fucking long time. And he's one of those guys that takes like a lot of fights. He'll fight 3 times in a year, 4 times in a year. Okay, he's almost he's your age, Nick.
Older than most of the pro athletes playing today. How crazy is that? You're the youngest one here. No, I think Johnny's the youngest one here. Wow, that's crazy.
It's always weird to see that when you're like, you know, you don't think about it obviously in your 20s and 30s, but now when I'm watching like super successful multimillionaire athletes, I'm like, I'm 15 years older than that guy. It's kind of hard.
How about the fact that you're older than you're not there quite yet, but I'm older than some of their moms. Like when they get drafted, they show their moms. I'm like, I'd totally bang that mom. I'm probably too old for the mom.
That's Johnny. Pull up that the main card while I look for my pants.
Oh, geez. Come on, dude.
God dang it.
They were right here. They were right here.
All right, let's go to the main card and do our picks.
Is this a Crystal Geyser ad right now?
Yes.
Is this product placement?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go to the main card. Bang them out. Bang them out. Oh, dude, this is a crazy.
O'Malley versus
John O'Malley. I gotta go with my guy. I love him. I think he's great. You know, he's a reckless fighter.
They call Sean O'Malley the Nick Youssef of MMA. He's young, brass, and older porn stars want to bang him.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's funny. That was way funnier than people know. Sean O'Malley also has the hair of a very young Nick Youssef. I'm going to go O'Malley, and I'm going to go O'Malley. Second round knockout.
How about this? I'm going to go O'Malley too. I think they're trying to set him up for a run.
Yeah,
he is.
Also, why he's the 5th. He's the first fight on the main card, even though he could headline. I think so. They want him to win.
Interesting too, because when you see boxers talk MMA, like they talk about what a great striker, like what a great puncher O'Malley is. Like he uses angles. So
like angles, jabs, head movement. He's a striker.
All the old boxers really that watch UFC really talk highly of Shane O'Malley's fucking striking. So I'm gonna go with him right now because I think they're purposely trying to set him up for a nice run.
All right.
Robbie Lawler. I mean, this is another guy with 1,000 fights.
Yeah.
That guy's face is like a catcher's mitt at this point. I mean, he's had wars. He's from the old UFC, like back in the day UFC. Like when I would love him to win.
I mean, I'm gonna go with Robbie Lawler, but I'm very cautious.
Johnny, what can we get the lineup with the odds, Johnny?
They are right there. If you go back, Robbie Lawler is got the better odds.
There you go.
No, that's the undercard.
It went back to that. I don't know why. Hold on.
Yeah, that's fine.
There.
I just wanted to see what those odds were.
He's favored, but not that.
Yeah.
It's almost
Not
like
That's a
much,
coin
yeah.
toss. Yeah, I'll go Lawler just out of fucking just respect for the vet. Someone's getting knocked out in this fight. This is going to be a fucking.
the next
this is
two fights are that.
That's going to be a parking lot. That's a fight in a fucking parking lot. I'll go Lawler.
So I'm gonna go Lawler because I don't really know the other guy, which means he'll probably win. The next one is Sean Strickland versus Alex Pereira. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now this guy's super interesting, Alex Pereira, because he is a dominant champ in kickboxing, K1 and all that stuff. He actually has 2 kickboxing wins over Stylebender, Israel Adesanya.
Oh, no shit.
Right.
Oh,
Right?
really?
Correct.
And they basically
in
brought
kickboxing,
him
yeah.
in.
Oh.
So Sean Strickland is a really great fighter, but the question is he going to try to trade fire with this guy that's what he does? And now they also say Alex's ground game is getting better, but I think that's Strickland's only chance right here is that he can. I mean, go down, look at it, man. He's way taller than.
I'm going to go Sean Strickland. I'm going to go Sean Strickland.
He has such an extensive record, though.
Yeah,
Well,
because
that's just
this guy's
in
into MMA, but not combat sports.
Hold on,
Yeah,
I'll look up
he's
his-
like a world-class kickboxer. He just is 2-0 in the UFC.
No,
But,
in
I mean-
MMA.
Or in MMA. Yeah,
But
yeah.
but since this is like a UFC fight, like does the guy stand a chance if he gets on the ground?
That's why I'm going. That's why I'm going.
25-3.
That's why I'm going with Strickland
Definitely.
on that one.
Definitely. Like I said, that is his only hope. But I am going to go, in MMA. I mean, in kickboxing, he's 33-7 with
Shit.
2 wins over the 185, the 185 champ.
Yeah, the Kobe Bryant of the division.
So these are all 5-round fights, or is that
No.
the
5-round fights if the belt's on the line. 3-round
That's-
fights if it's not. But
otherwise.
5-minute rounds.
5 rounds if it's the main card.
Or,
So you
or the
think-
main event. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think he'll avoid getting taken down for the 3 rounds
If he wants to win. Yeah.
and put
But
them
I don't.
away? You don't think so?
I think he can't. I think Strickland is a crazy person. And I think he likes that action. And
Okay.
like he talks mad smack during his fights. So I think it's super interesting. I always
I like
go
this fight a lot.
with the guy who has the longer reach too. And Alex has a little longer reach. So if we're talking striking, I mean, one guy's 6'4", the other one's 6'1". So I'm gonna go with Alex because
So you always go with the guy with the longer reach?
no, I like not always, but I
Okay.
do like the guy with the longer reach, especially if
In the
all
sack.
things given even. Right? Yeah,
Is
here
this,
it is.
this guy kickboxing?
Yeah. This is them kickboxing. Bam, bam. But look how thin he was there, and he still beat him. He's still both of them so funny. Neither of them had the tattoo.
Oh,
Look at that.
shit.
Bam.
Oh.
He took him out.
Knocked him out. Bam, right there.
Wow.
I mean,
So
that guy on his back is the fucking shit
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
He's the guy on his back is the headliner of this fight.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's really fun to watch.
But it's also interesting because look at their body builds. They both look completely different now. So
This was years ago, right?
years ago.
Wow.
I mean, go back to the picture of it.
Yeah,
Look
he
at him
looks
now.
way different.
Yeah. Look at him now. It's like this guy did like 20 years for a fucking crime he didn't commit.
2016.
In Russia.
Well, 6 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with the Alex because I think the UFC really wants him to get that fight going because it will be a great marketing ploy. So I'm gonna go with Alex on this one.
I'm going Strickland just for what Nick's saying. I think he's going to just know how to at least try to avoid getting kicked and fucking punched and just try to take it to the ground. I'll go Strickland. I mean, it's a coin toss on the odds. They're both negative 120, minus 120. And then we get into the 2 fucking showdowns, 2 5-rounders, title shots First up, Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski, the rematch of the rematch. First time they fought, Volkanovski won the belt from Holloway. They gave Holloway a rematch, and it was the fucking war. This is going to be.
Wow, look at that.
I am rooting for Holloway.
Yeah, but look how crazy it is, Nick. He's 5 inches taller, right? But his reach is
only
2.5 inches longer. I mean, shorter. So
What
this
the
is
fuck?
a crazy fight, man.
That is really bizarre.
Holloway can fucking answer the phone in the next room, sitting. His arms are so long. Now, keep in mind,
No, but his
23
arms
and
are
6.
shorter
No,
than the
but
other guy.
Volkanovski's guy.
He's
He's
ringing
like
the
he
bell
built like a
to start the
chimpanzee.
fight.
He really is
Oh,
built.
I see what you mean. Yeah, he's 5'6". That's what I meant Volkanovski. But
Johnny, I dare you to say
23
that about
and
the
6.
next fight.
23 and 6, and
Okay.
2 of those losses are against Volkanovski.
Yeah.
I mean, he could easily be
Who's Volkanovski's one loss to?
Well, here's another thing is that
I
a
don't-
lot of
Gorbachev.
Max Holloway's losses, I think at least 3 of them, well, 2 of them are to this guy, and then 3 other ones are to a much higher weight class, 155.
Yeah,
So
moved
he was
up and he couldn't
moving up.
bang.
2 to Dustin Poirier, and I think 1 to Conor McGregor at 155.
I saw all of those fights.
Probably in the back bar of the store.
beat Volkanovski.
Maybe.
Volkanovski got beat by Putin.
He lost to
That's
Nelson.
his only loss. His only loss was to Putin.
At arm wrestling.
It's hard to go with a guy who's lost twice. But
Yes.
I don't know why. But I'm feeling that Max Holloway wins this one.
Oh, I hope
though
you're
he-
right, Sam.
Even though I feel like he's physically
What
not
are these odds?
in the best place, he's always like, I got problems on the scale. You know?
Volkanovski's a favorite.
190, damn.
Almost 2 to 1.
So if you want to make money, man, throw it on Holloway. You'll be so happy if you go, hey, T, you have to put $100 of Nick's fucking new goddamn special money on something. It would be Volkanovski. If you go, bet with your heart and what you're going to be rooting for.
Yeah.
So you
I would
mean,
go Holloway.
dumb money. Take your dumb money. If you're gonna bet dumb money, go with your
Yeah.
heart.
Get out, invest in a certain
If you're
somebody's
gonna bet
special.
emotionally, go with Holiday. If you're gonna make a smart move, go with the guy
Holiday.
who beat him twice.
yeah. Good luck betting on Holiday, by the way.
I know.
It's just, dude. I mean, I think Volkanovski's gonna win it. The next fight's super interesting. I'll tell you why. This guy Cannoneer or whatever his name is,
Cannoneer.
dude,
Yes,
he
sir.
used to fight at heavyweight.
He's a big fucking guy.
Dropped
He'll
down
kill
not
a-
to
Gorilla.
205 to 185.
5
Now,
inch height difference.
He said Killer Gorilla is his nickname, and that's just because
Go down
he didn't
for
want to
the season
offend
late.
any. He didn't want to offend any
Ooh.
killers, so he didn't
Look
go
at
to
the weight
hard ER.
difference.
Ooh.
What
Yeah.
weight class is this?
This is they're fighting
Welter.
185.
Welterweight, right?
185. So he'll be down to 185 by the time the fight happens.
God damn.
I'm
Just
going.
walking around
I'm
like
going.
it's 204?
Izzy, all the way with this, and I'm gonna say that Adesanya wins. I don't think this gets to championship rounds. I think this fight is a wrap in 3. Izzy Adesanya.
I've been watching this guy's fights. He's a fucking savage, this
He's
Jerry.
a killer gorilla.
Okay.
What
Johnny,
if he went?
You want
he
to say
should've
how
gone-
they're built real quick? How's he built, Johnny?
He should have gone
He's built
killer
like a
gorilla.
gorilla, yeah.
He should have gone killer gorilla. So stupid.
That's so funny.
I want my $200 back because you guys are fucking racist, and I just don't support racism, bro, at all. I think it's gonna be Israel, but I might just throw like a $20 bet on the other guy because he has been fighting heavyweights, I believe, for the longest time. Might be interesting. And here's the thing about
Sam.
People catch him. And that's why this Alex guy is really interesting because he is a precision striker if they ever do fight. I've seen Israel. I watch Israel's fight. They make contact with him a lot. They just haven't been able to knock him out because they don't have the power. But
who's this one loss to?
Oh, well, he moved up to try to get the belt at 205. And he lost to who was then the champion, who's no longer champion. It's actually 2 belts away now, 2 other champions since the guy that beat him. So he lost at 205. He's come back to 185.
Okay.
He lost to Blakovic or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
That guy.
Johnny, pull that whole main event up. And here's what I want to do. Sam, let's me and you decide on a 3 parlay.
Yeah.
3-person parlay.
And we're putting all of Nick's special money on
That's what I'm getting at.
If he wins, he gets half of it. If he loses, we'll just, we try.
Everybody do.
We tried.
$10. Everyone do a $10 parlay or whatever. And if you win with me and Sam's parlay, we're going to give you right now, give half your winnings to Nick's special. I'm going.
Go.
I'm going O'Malley for sure. Can we agree O'Malley wins that one? Okay. What is there? Do you have a lock, Sam? Do you have a Sam Tripoli lock here?
I mean, I'm thinking Alexander Volkanovski is the closest thing. I mean, not according to odds. According to the odds, Israel Adesanya is the closest thing to a lock.
It's really great.
Well,
I'm going Adesanya.
How did I present? What I say wrong?
You called him Adesanya.
Adesanya.
Yeah.
How is it? How do I say it?
Adesanya.
Oh, whatever. Suck it.
Adesanya.
Okay. Israel, according to the odds, is the biggest lock. But
okay, I go Adesanya,
lasagna,
Volkanovski,
lasagna.
Now I want lasagna. Yeah.
Volkanovski, O'Malley, and Israel Adesanya.
Adesanya.
Take that parlay from Punch Drunk, and whatever you win, give half of your winnings. You're still going to win. You're still going to have a lot of money. Give half of that to nickyoussef.com. You can see his special where you can donate, right? Are we correct there, Nick?
Yes. That's
Dude,
correct.
if I donate $1,000, can I pick a topic that you have to talk about in your fucking special?
I mean, I don't see why not.
Okay, I'm gonna donate $1,000. I want to hear, why do black people take forever to cross the street? And that's all I need. If you could just add that to the special, that'd be great. I would love to hear your take on that.
Yeah, I guess I could do that.
That sounds great.
Dude, somebody donated $25 too, dude. Bam. Dude, look at you.
And we're not even live.
$225.
We're not even live either.
Yeah, this isn't even live. That just randomly happened.
That's the universe, bro.
No, we're live. We're live.
By the way, you look like in this picture, you look like everybody who has a spiritual podcast. And
he looks like 80s Steve Jobs. I
love the light that's kind of the religious halo behind him. This does have I might have a Jesus complex look going on right now. Your own personal Jesus.
Look at Steve Jobs.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Young Nick Youssef. No, old Nick Youssef looks like young Steve Jobs for sure.
Yes, I've heard that.
I cannot believe you're almost
Johnny.
You're 40, dude. That is
Johnny. May 3rd, I turned 40.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy. Johnny, take your iPad and look up young hot little boys come. And then Sam, call the FBI. Call the FBI.
Well, I mean, hold on.
Yeah.
Does the FBI have jurisdiction over space? He is in space.
That is a good point. That's why I come up here, so I can Google whatever I want.
Go up there to beat off to child pornography
in space.
Well,
get that soundbite.
This window
you're in trouble
loaded
if you're using the International Space Station's Wi-Fi. Then you're in trouble.
No, the Russians are cool with it, bro. I don't know if you know that.
They all have to agree.
Yeah. It depends on what part of the space station you're floating in. Depends on what you can watch when you're there.
You know what? All this Russian.
I got a jam. I got to walk my dogs.
See you, Sam.
In the house.
All right, buddy.
Hey,
love
Nick,
you.
super happy for you. Keep kicking ass.
Thanks,
Give
dude.
me a call and we'll get you nice.
Might as well wrap this up. We're at 2 hours.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, for sure.
Bye.
Sam,
All right,
love
guys.
you, buddy. All my best to the girls. Nick, I love you. Good luck with everything and your podcast. Want to plug on that too?
Yeah. According to Nick Youssef, that's I have a YouTube channel and I go live on there, and then there's the audio version which comes out like right after that, so you can find that on any audio platform. And I talk about a little bit of everything. I do some boxing. I talk about random comedy shit, some style stuff, music, kind of anything that's on my mind. Short episodes. So I try and do shorter episodes more often. So subscribe, and you don't even ever have to listen. Just subscribe so it looks better.
There you go. All right. Good seeing you, buddy. I love you, Nick.
You
Johnny.
too, good seeing you,
Good seeing
Johnny.
you, buddy.
See you guys. Take care.
All right.
Bye. What are they saying?
Every girl's my girlfriend. Every girl's my girlfriend. Every girl's
It
my
disturbs me how much Sam loves this song.
He dances like he has special needs.
What are they saying?
Johnny, stop. Just let it rock. These are kids. We're supporting them. If you're a drunk puncher,
What?
go out, buy
tell
this
my
album.
grandma.
If you want to find this and buy it, it's the
Which I
kids
promise
of
you they don't.
Whitney High. Let's Get Busy is the name of the album.
Every girl's my girlfriend. Every girl's my girlfriend.
Just gonna fade that out. there.
I'm gonna put this to vote. Should this be the new Punch Drunk theme song?